Okay, so we have a guest today. Our guest is Wanda, and Wanda, I so hope I get your last name right. Wanda Patsche. Wanda is the
Um,
exec. Oh, go ahead. Correct me.
okay, it's patchy, but you're close enough. I'll go with
Oh,
that. So you're
Patchy?
good.
I got it.
It's
I'm taking
okay.
Patchy. Wanda is the new executive director for Farm Camp in Minnesota. And should we be packing our sleeping bags? What do we got? We love a good field trip. So, Wanda, tell us more about Farm Camp.
Oh, yes, these are fantastic field trips. So, just to kind of give you an overview, what exactly farm camp. So, our whole intent is to try to bridge the classroom to the farm or actually agribusiness to create a customized, hands-on, and fun learning experience. It allows students to go deeper into a topic that's within agriculture. It is geared towards grades 5 through 12. And what's really nice, especially for the educators, is that it meets all educational curriculum standards. The program really consists of three different parts. The first part is classroom learning before they go to the actual field trip or farm camp, just to prepare the students for what they're going to see and experience. And then part two is, of course, is the actual tour. And then part three, which we feel like is just as important, is they will go through a lesson about agriculture careers. We know that you know agriculture is in dire need of people working just like other industries. 1 out of every 10 jobs in Minnesota is ag related. And what we want to do is we want the students to explore all the different types of career options that are available. You don't have to come back to the farm, although that's great too, but there's a lot of other jobs when we think about veterinarians, animal nutritionists, construction, truck drivers. I can just go on and on. Even someone like even say to a student, do you like to draw? Are you into graphic arts? Guess what? There's a place for you in agriculture because someone needs to design those food packages. So that's the three parts. And as program director, I do all the heavy lifting. So by organizing the farm camp experience. So I'm just looking for educators that would be interested, and they can contact me, and then I will do, like I said, all the heavy lifting of organizing that experience.
This is going to be a lot of fun to ask all these questions because when you said this is geared towards grades 5 through 12, good news, we generally behave like fifth graders. So we are right up your alley, Wanda. We are the ones that should be
Awesome.
coming to camp. Um,
Yes.
let's just start with how would a farmer sign up from his perspective or her perspective, I should say? Who are you looking for? What's the general radius that students will travel? Any of that type of background?
Right. So we'll work with the educator on that. Typically, it's going to be, within that 30 minutes. Maybe the educator already knows someone, has a name that's kind of locally, local to the school. If not, I have a lot of different resources I can reach out to. I'll talk to the educator and find out exactly what they're looking for. We would really like to tie this back into their curriculum. So for example, let's say ninth graders. I know genetics is a huge topic, usually for ninth grade science. If they're interested, the educator would contact me, and then I can go out and reach, basically a farmer, maybe that someone that grows corn or soybeans, bring them out to the farm. And I guess the most important part is that we want those experiences to be things that the students can feel, touch, smell, hear. That is what's going to stick with them. And there's so much, they're more impactful, and that's when the real learning takes place. They will remember this years down the road. They will remember those trips.
That's super cool. And how many schools are on board with this? What's you guys' outreach?
Yep. So the whole state of Minnesota, it's a new program. So we've only been doing this for about the past maybe 2 years. So it's growing. And that's kind of I'm taking over and really want to build on this program. Really going to start connecting with educators and farmers. So right now we have about 6 farm camps that are scheduled between now and the end of the year. I'm hoping that there will be more. And I'm looking for those educators that are interested.
What are the camps that you currently have scheduled? Are we talking like a dairy farm, production grain? Where are they going?
Yeah, so a couple of them. Let me think here. I've got one school that's in the Elk River area. And so they are looking for a dairy farm. I'm also looking, probably doing like a strawberry farm. And so that's one of them. I've got another one in Goodhue County. It's actually a school in Harding, Harding's High School out of St. Paul. I'm looking to come down to Goodhue County, and they're looking for a dairy farm. We've got a couple that are doing like an egg or a career day. We've got East Grand Forks that's going to be doing a 9th grade career fair, and so we're really working with those and going to send them to sugar beets, going to send them to dairy, going to send them to potato farm, and a number of other places. So.
And Wanda, I know you said you've only been doing this a few years, but what would you say is the highlight for the kids? What part do they like the best?
Yeah, so I'll just kind of clarify that I've actually been only doing this job since January 1.
Oh, okay.
I was actually with Egg in the classroom from 2017 to 2021 as a resource specialist. I took a step back basically to help a family member with a business, and now I'm back in this capacity. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, so I haven't been doing it too long, but really when it comes down to it is really those experiences when they can go on the farm, especially let's take dairy. When they can go into a dairy farm and actually milk a cow, I mean, to see their expression and the things that they're learning, all the hands-on. Well, there's a lot of misconceptions about really where milk comes from,
Right.
And so we want to clarify that, and I think that's the big picture that I look at because there's so many misconceptions out there about where people's food comes from, and so we just, as someone in agriculture, we need to do our best to try to bridge those connections and talk about exactly what agriculture is. So I think just those hands-on, when I can see them do things, even if they're down and dirty and they're planting and they're doing this and that, for me, that is a huge success. And again, they're going to remember this. So.
Now, can parents come along with the kids? Because quite honestly, I think there's a lot of adults that would probably benefit from this.
Suddenly, Dean adopted
Right, yeah.
a bunch of kids so we can go on a school trip.
Are parents allowed to come along with the kids?
If the educator says yes, absolutely. In fact, we talk about these farm camps as being for the students, but the part I don't really talk about is for the teachers too. They're learning right along with the students. So
Sure.
Absolutely. So.
Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun to continue this conversation, which we will do just in a few moments. We are visiting with Wanda Patsche. She is the executive director for Farm Camp in Minnesota. Lots of great questions, how to connect teachers and farmers to give kids that real hands-on experience. Dean, as soon as we get you those backyard chickens, you could be leading tours at your place.
Sweet.
So we will continue that discussion with Wanda when we come back right after this. Welcome to WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Bridgette, Readel, Ag Director, along with the crack meteorology staff, Dean Wysocki, Chief, and Justin Storm. It is 1:35 in the afternoon. Thank you for joining us. We have with us today Wanda Patsche. Wanda is the executive director of Farm Camp in Minnesota. For those of you who are listening and think, boy, I really want to know more. Maybe I want to sign up as a farmer, or I have a teacher in my life, or I am that teacher and I need some details. You can reach out to us via our phone lines, 701-293-9000. Also our emails, weatherorag@flagfamily.com. And if you've missed any part of this interview, catch up with us on our website under show archives, or you can see us live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Acres TV. So, Wanda, more questions for you. Like, first of all, how long does farm camp go on? Is this a half day for students? Is it a full day on a farm? What are they doing?
Yeah, so that's what makes this really special because it's customized. We have a conversation with the educator. What are they looking for? Sometimes they are a half a day. It's very rare that they just go to one site and come back to the school. It's usually either a half a day or a full day, depending on what the educator is looking for. But again, it's all customized. What do they want? And the other nice thing about this, let's say that they're in a school district that maybe doesn't quite see what we're trying to do, maybe a little bit reluctant, especially when they're looking for buses for transportation. We have transportation grants that we can actually help supplement those costs for those school districts, which is really nice. So we can kind of throw that out as a reason why, farm camp won't work for a particular school, so we can actually help them with the busing. So yeah, it's just completely customized. There's no two farm camps that are the same.
And that was going to be my question. Is there any cost for the farm camp? So there are subsidies for, is that for any school or it is? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
any school, and there is no cost. So for the schools.
This is a great educational tool for the kids.
I want to sign up an adult farm camp. I want a bus out front. I want us leading this, and let's get a whole pile of people on there, and let's go to a farm.
Well, and when we did the story a few weeks back about dairy cows having water beds in there, I mean, yes, let's go.
Okay,
let's go.
And when Wanda said earlier, you don't realize how much effort it goes into milking a cow. Granted, I grew up on a dairy farm, and we had a parlor, but from time to time, you did have to milk by hand. It's a lot of work, okay? Yeah. There's a reason why dairy farmers' forearms are the size of Popeyes. That's how it really was. So there's so many cool things here that kids could see and do. And you said strawberry farm. So that's a really unconventional one too, Wanda. Is that the most unconventional you've gone to?
I would say, I'm trying to think here. Trying to remember some of the past camps that they've had. Again, I've only been on board here for a couple of weeks, so I don't have a lot of history to go on, but there's so many different types of farms that are agriculture related. And, I mean, think about pumpkin farms, how fun would that be? So, there's just quite a variety. So we're open to any type of agriculture.
You had touched on this in our previous segment, but how does one get involved with wanting to be this? Say I have a farm or property and operation. I want to be involved in this. I want kids to come to my place, learn about it, see how it actually happens. Is there a pretty, strenuous list that you have to complete or things you need to do to be eligible to bring in, 5th through 12th graders to your property for education purposes?
Yeah. So typically how the process starts, I would just ask people to send me an email, and that should go to director@farmcampminnesota.org. That will start the process. At that point, I will probably give them a call and try to really ask them a few questions. What are you looking for? How big is the class? Just, some basic information. And then from there, I will go out and find an egg host. Whether it's somebody I already know or it's through a connection that I know. There's a lot of different things, sources I can use to find that egg host. Once we have the educator and the egg host, then we're going to set up a 3-way conversation, probably Zoom, something similar to that, and then we'll hash out the details, and so we can make sure that it's run as smooth as possible, because that's my goal, is to make sure that these camps happen and that it's as easy as we can make it for both sides. Right. So that we want a very positive experience.
There are so many things here. Okay, so what's the prep work on the teacher's side of things as the educator? Are there lessons beforehand? What are some of the things that a teacher might be doing in order to get her students ready or his students ready for this?
Yes, absolutely. So that is when we'll use the Minnesota Ag in the Classroom curriculum matrix. There's a lot of just wonderful lessons out there. It blows me away when I look at all of the different types of lessons that are out there. And so again, we'll kind of look at, okay, where's your farm tour going to go, or your farm camp? And then I'll go out to the matrix and I will find lessons that are age appropriate and then send those to the teachers so that they can prep them. Just this morning, I received a couple lessons about sugar beets. And because when I looked into the matrix didn't have any specific lessons about sugar beets. And so I needed to find some lessons. And actually, I don't know if Harrison Weber, he actually
I know Harrison. Yes, that's excellent.
Give me a couple lessons. So I've got that in my arsenal, because when we do the career day for East Grand Forks, that is going to be one farm that they go to. So I will send that to the educator ahead of time so that she can prep the students and give that information. So, yeah.
How does a career day work? You're bringing students out to a variety of farms. This is like a day-long bus trip from place to place?
Yes. We're looking at probably, I believe on this one, we're looking at 4 sites, and then we're going to bring them. Is there like a heritage center? I think in that area where they'll bring them to kids, and then they'll have some different displays set up there. So we're just at the beginning stages of organizing that. That will probably happen in May. So we've got a little bit of time, but yes, it will be 4 different stops. They'll have lunch probably at that Heritage Center, do a little bit of more education there, and then go to 2 stops in the afternoon. It will be a long, full day.
Guys, we could be bus hosts. Wouldn't we be ideal chaperones for high school students?
Oh, yeah.
Evil laugh.
Yeah. Now, Wanda, so the farmers that are participating in this, do they get any kickback from this? I mean, because they're taking time out of their day, which is fantastic, to help these kids out, and or is this just, this is, hey, we want to sign up for this because we want to continue to educate our kids on agriculture?
That is it. They're not getting a kickback.
Okay.
But I have found that, agriculture and especially farmers, they get what we're trying to do. We need to build that connection with consumers, no matter if they're students or if they're adults. So they understand what we're doing and they're all on board. So that's
super
and that's
cool.
which has been really great.
And I think this would be beneficial for adults. And here's the reason.
Seriously, I'm lining up a bus over here. We're going.
If you go do like a man on the street interview with adults, where does milk come from? Well, the grocery store. I mean, and a lot of them actually seriously think that. So I think this would be something that not only kids but adults would benefit at as well.
Just the technology. You think about Qual Dairy down at Lisbon, where they've got a robotic carousel. Where they're, if I'm remembering that right from what Qual does, but that's only a couple years old. There's so much technology now where the cows are going on and milking on their own schedules. The robots for feeding. It's fantastic. And just like Wanda said, think about the non-typical farm jobs that stem from that. It's huge.
Oh yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So
Yes.
Wanda, pardon. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I would like to go to a potato farm because I know nothing about potatoes. I did talk to someone about all the processes they go through, and I'm just amazed. I had no idea. I will not look at a potato the same way. I live down in South Central Minnesota, so we have no potato farm, but we have lots of hogs and we have corn and soybeans. But yeah, no, I agree. There's a lot of great experiences there.
So you also on your website, you have different curriculums for teachers to take advantage of, starting with there's handouts, there's the Ag Mags, which are like a magazine. There are worksheets. You want to give a shout out to any of those particular items off your website that teachers should be looking for?
Oh, yeah. We have a variety of different educational resources. We have videos. They've done a number of virtual tours in the past couple of years. In fact, they just did one here in December, which was on reindeer. So you talk about those unique experiences. And yeah, Ag Mag is fantastic. Teachers love those. Of course, the curriculum matrix, all the videos that we have online that you can just download. They're all free. There's no cost to any of that. And they're good. They're quality lessons. Trying to think here. Yeah, videos. I think that gives the best options there for teachers. So
pretty much any of the above.
Right. What would you say is like the projection with this farm camp? Like we've been talking about where you're at right now, but what's it look like maybe 5 years down the road, in your opinion?
Well, I hope to be here yet, and I want to see it grow. I really do. I want to get it to the point where they have to hire 3 of me, just to keep up, because I think it's that important. So I think as long as we keep growing, keep refining, keep adjusting to what educators are looking for, students are looking for, and the ag hosts. I can't really give you a specific number, but my goal right now, being 2 weeks in, is I just want to see continual growth.
Will you only be able to work with Minnesota schools, or if we're a North Dakota border town, can we also contact you for participation?
That I'm not sure. I would have to do some checking to see exactly how that would work, but I'm sure we can make some arrangements. So definitely.
Oh, that's great. Any last minute questions, guys?
Oh, certainly. How do people find Wanda?
Yeah,
and
definitely.
This experience. So we need to know where to come find you.
Yep. So again, my email address would be director@farmcampminnesota.org. And then if you just want a little bit more information about Farm Camp, we do have a website. And again, that's farmcampminnesota.org. So a lot of great information there. If you got any questions, definitely give me a call, send me an email. I would love to work with people. It's very exciting. I'm really so excited about what the future holds.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a bright future. And one more time, if for someone who wants to be involved in a partnership with you, they want to have their farm, maybe be a host farm, how can they do that again? Or where is the same places to reach out to you?
Same place. Yep.
Awesome. Well,
and then I'll make the connection. So
perfect. Nice and streamwise and easy. That's how everybody likes it.
make it easy. That's the whole point of this, is just make it as easy as possible.
Oh, definitely. Well, we've been speaking with Wanda Patsche, the Executive Director of Minnesota Farm Camp, and we want to thank you, Wanda, for joining us today here on Weather and Ag in Focus. And we hope that everything goes smooth with Farm Camp for the 2023 education year and forward.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
When Weather and Ag in Focus returns, we'll take another look at that forecast. Got a few ag topics to get to and maybe a surprise. So stay tuned. Weather and Ag in Focus. We'll be right back.